Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Playtesters, a real play podcast where we invite you to a seat at the table to play games that are not Dungeons and Dragons. Today, we will be playing Riverbank, a cozy narrative-driven tabletop RPG designed by Kij Johnson and published by Cobalt Press, focusing on charm, whimsy, and comedic drama rather than combat. Pull up a chair, and let's jump right into the action.
Okay, welcome everyone to the Playtesters podcast. It's me, Ben. I am the DM for this session, and today we are playing Riverbank, a cozy cottage horror, a role-playing game, and I'd like to introduce everyone as their players and themselves really quick.
Yes, I am Christian, and I will be playing Mr. Temple Arbus, a squirrel who is very dramatic, new to the neighborhood, and has a lot of family.
My name is Meg. I will be playing Miss Eliza Vander Hedgepig. She is a small, dainty little hedgehog who loves to be cozy and crafty and loves her kitchen and baking.
Hi, my name is Emma, and I will be playing Dahlia P. Mole, and she is a lovely little lady who loves her knickknacks.
And I'm Eric. I'll be playing Mr. Wim Wallpaper Wasselford, a lizard. My tail can fall off, and I can grow a new one. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Oh,
Okay.
man, I'm going to use some weird stuff with that falling off tail.
Yeah, and this game will get extremely weird, so if anyone has any weird, whimsical ideas, you are encouraged, or as in this game, I don't ask you to do something, I invite you to do something.
Tail sandwiches.
Gosh, oh my gosh. All right, so we are going to start off the session in Eliza's cottage. She's entertaining her friends in her living room, and as she's about to go in there, she sees an opened letter. Do you go to it?
Yes, I think she just kind of is hustling and bustling about. She has her friends probably set up at a little table doing some kind of a flower craft with some dried flowers from her garden, maybe making potpourri jars or something like that. Probably went to the kitchen to get some refreshments and then happened to notice a letter and just says, "Oh, what's this?
Great. Yeah.
What is this?"
So as you kind of open it, you do wonder to yourself a little bit, why is it opened? But what's more interesting, what's inside of the letter, because you see it's addressed to you from your grandfather. And as you open this letter, you do see that he wants to have a tea party with you today and in 1 hour. Now, in Riverbank, you live in what's called the village. It's an environment that is a cohabitat between animals and humans, but mostly animals. And this is kind of a Victorian, Edwardian era type of environment and tone, kind of like Anne of the Green Gables. And when you get this, you kind of either panic to yourself or you kind of compose yourself in the moment. That's up to you. But how do you want to break this news to your friends? Because obviously, you know, in this moment, you only have an hour and you need help.
So Eliza is definitely going to internally panic, but her brain will automatically go to survival mode. The internal panic goes off, but then she thinks, okay, I can't ruin what this nice day that we're already having. I need some help, but I don't want to overburden anybody. But then I have to make things so perfect for grandfather. Oh goodness. Oh, I can't believe that I forgot all about this. And then she'll just kind of shuffle into the other room with her friends and just kind of say, so how's everybody doing with their crafts? Does everybody have enough flowers?
Oh, I have so many. It's so great. I love doing crafts with you guys. You guys bring me in and you let me have all the fun with you all.
Oh, good. I like that enthusiasm, Temple. You hold on to that.
And Temple, by the way, he is he's basically kind of scrapbooking flowers. And he has like glue all over his fur and a bunch of just flowers like stuck randomly to him. He's got like one on his nose, like a few on his cheek, a couple on his like neck, just like all over him. Like he's just been going crazy with the crafts.
Great. Yeah. And I will say, when you deliver this news, I'm going to have you, Meg, start the roll, and this is going to be the tutorial for everyone. So, as you explain this, as you've said each preceding word, you're trying to hold and bottle in that energy, correct? Let's see how well you've maintained that as you've explained this. So like I've said before, this is an extremely simple system. So the first thing what I'm going to do is, as you've said what you're going to do, I'm going to now tell you what the scale of the challenge is going to be. So I'm going to say this is going to be a relatively easy challenge. So this is going to be a 6. So you need a 6+ to roll. So we're going to, just shelve that for the moment. And what else I'm going to tell you is, the deed category, which there are 6. There's attention, braininess, clever pause, discretion, sway, and valor. And on your character sheets, if you look in the innate peculiarities, personal peculiarities, and knacks, you'll be able to see specific descriptions, or you'll see like feats of valor, or discretion. If you happen to see those as I describe, what the skills and peculiarities and the deed categories are going to be as I describe the situation that you're going to roll for. You just kind of add those modifiers as I explain. But what I will say, since you're trying to grab everyone's attention and you are trying to potentially, portray a little bit of braininess by kind of like knowing information and saying it clearly, I'm going to say attention and braininess are going to be your modifiers, your deed categories. So the first roll I'm going to have you do, which is roll randomly for the stat you're going to use. And so those are going to be 4 stats: charm, intrepidity, pother, and sense. So charm, obviously, it's going to be if you're charming, if you're appealing, pleasing. Intrepidity is going to be bold and gutsy. Pother, you are just a chaos magnet if you select that. And then sense is going to be rational and sensible. So if you can, on roll 20, roll a 1d4. 2. Okay. So you rolled intrepidity. So as you're explaining this, you're trying to be bold and gutsy about this. So the next roll you're going to do is a 1d6 plus all the modifiers that deal with attention and braininess.
Okay, so 1d6 you said?
Yes.
4. And then how do we do the modifiers again? Explain that one again.
So if you look in your peculiarities, innate and personal, let's see. Looks like you have feats in valor and discretion. You also have some stats for intrepidity and charm. If you go to your knacks, you have green toes, so you have +1 in braininess and clever paws to, like involving anything in gardens. So you just look at all those and you really don't have anything to help you for your modifiers, right? So you haven't quite hit 6.
Yeah.
So this is technically a failure. So this is perfect for the tutorial.
Okay.
So you have 3 options. You can just take the failure and I get to roll with you what your failure will become.
Okay.
The second option is you get to summon Pother. So you can just say, you look at your, I meant to tell you, when you rolled what did you roll? You rolled a 4. So you actually did succeed. So that was my bad. So you do add your 4 plus your, let's see, you rolled intrepidity, right? So you do roll.
Yes.
Yeah. So you add your 4 for intrepidity, including your roll and modifiers. So you do succeed. But I'll still explain failures.
Okay.
So the second option is summoning Pother. So you can just say, you know what, I failed. I still couldn't get quite to 6. I'm going to bring it to Pother and have an automatic success if it'll get me there. But you're going to have to roll a summoning Pother result, which will cause a really chaotic scenario, but you still succeed, which may lead to inconvenient or chaotic moments for anyone around you. And they may have to roll as a reaction. And then the third option, if you fail, is you buy AP points. So if everyone looks on roll 20, do you see that huge graph on the bottom that says absolute poetry and absolute animality?
Yeah.
And medium in the middle. Yeah. So everyone's in the medium, which is at 0. So if you buy points, so let's just say you had a result of, let's just say 4, you needed 6. You can buy 2 points and it'll bring you in either direction. And I tell you which one. So if you do something a little intellectual or artistic, you go towards poetry. If you do something a little chaotic, you go towards animality. And if you go all the way to 8 on either side, you disengage from the situation within a 30-minute time span. And I'll tell you what happens if those moments occur. But you didn't fail. You did succeed, which, just to explain to everyone again, you add your final stat, which for you is intrepidity, which is 4, plus your roll with any modifiers. So overall, you got an 8. So you did succeed. So when you explain yourself, how do you want to just put a bow on explaining everything and getting everyone fired up to, preparing for this tea party, which everyone will have to have little deeds to gather the ingredients or things to go with the tea party.
I think she's gonna say, well, everybody's crafts look so good and everybody looks so nice and so cozy, but I have a surprise. We have a special guest coming in an hour, and they're going to help us finish out our craft day with a celebration. We're going to have a cake, and you'll all get to meet my grandfather, who I'm sure I've probably told you about, but you can ignore everything that I told you about him before. So I just want to thank you all for being here and for coming. And I'm really excited to be able to take our little craft day to the next level.
Great. Anyone want to react to that before I tell you what the tea party entails with what you all have to get?
Yeah, Temple's going to be like, "Oh my goodness, you're gonna have family over? That's so wonderful. We have to get so many things ready. You said we have an hour? That's so much time. We'll be able to get this, make this the best tea party ever."
Dahlia is working on weaving flowers together for little flower crowns. And she kind of looks up a second and looks back down and starts moving her claws and paws just a little bit faster. Just, I'll need to make a few more then. Oh dear. Oh.
Yes. Perfect. Yes, crowns for everybody.
Wonderful.
Lizard.
All right.
I like to think that's just all Wim says all the time is just lizard.
Oh my gosh. Do you actually
Takes a
say
break,
that?
everyone. I actually say that in between, taking a break from licking my eyeballs because lizards can do that. Lizard.
All right. So I will say, I'll put it in the chat just so everyone can kind of see on Roll20. But in Riverbank, all four of you can kind of team up and just go at one deed after another. You can split up. And situations, again, this is a very casual experience. Situations can resolve itself without even really succeeding in any situations. So even though I'd prefer you to at least try. So what you're going to do to prepare for this tea party is to get a lemon to squeeze in the tea, because that's what the grandfather really loves. You need to get a sugar cube, and then you also need to get the cake, which Eliza had mentioned. So I can get more into detail of what entails in each of those deeds, but let me write these down. So right out the gate, who wants to go for what?
I could go looking for sugar.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine an amped up lizard all over on a sugar high.
That's really perfect. Okay. Let me.
Why, Miss Eliza, we gotta go and get the cake. Yeah, that's definitely a two-animal job, because we gotta get the biggest cake ever.
Yes. The bigger the better. The fancier the better too, especially for grandfather. Do you have it
with frosting?
Oh yes, of course, with the frosting, of course.
And strawberries.
Yes, well, we can pick the strawberries here, and I think I probably have some lemons outside in the garden as well. Eliza, do you think you could help us with those?
Oh, I definitely could. I will help you go get some cake, and I do hope you have some lemons, because I don't know where we would get them other than that.
Okay. So just so I write down, so Eric, you're getting the sugar cube, and then for the cake, is the rest of you three? Or is someone going to lemon?
I think Dahlia will try to find a lemon, assuming hit the garden first, get strawberries as well for the cake, and then Temple and Eliza can go get the other ingredients. Yep.
All right. So I like to ask the players who wants to go first.
I really, really want to see how Wim Wallpaper Wasselford gets sugar.
Okay.
All right, lizard.
Let's do it.
All right. I want to volunteer
this is
you.
wonderful. I was really hoping for this. Okay. So there's only one place, only one animal in the whole village that could even possess an expensive sugar cube that would be acceptable to Eliza's picky grandfather. And that would be the dreaded, pompous, wealthy Mr. William Fancy Paws. everyone kind of knows he's visiting the village momentarily. For whatever reason, we don't quite know. His visit's a little mysterious, but he is in the Beehive Inn. And if you look on the map, it's on the top right corner, just for reference, if you need it. So I assume you do go over there right now.
Yes.
Okay. So when you go over there, he's actually on the front porch with the very sugar cube and a few other of his effects, rocking on a rocking chair. He does notice you. And he kind of like has this pompous outlook upon you and the gang that's usually, hanging out at the cottage, except for one. And you'll see that in just a moment. But Mr. Fancy Paws is a wealthy hedgehog who lives in the town, which in animal speak is London. So he does kind of like look down at you, Mr. Whim. He goes, "So, Mr. Whim, what brings you over here in the Beehive Inn?"
Sugar.
Sugar? Well,
Sugar.
it's gonna be one of the
I'm just imagining Schnitzel. Rada.
Hey, I'm gonna run with it.
Yeah.
That's I've never encountered. This is awesome. Okay, so he goes, "Sugar, are you talking about my sugar cube that I brought all the way from London, all the way from the sugar store? Are you wanting this one in particular?"
I'm gonna lick both my eyes and nod emphatically.
All right, so I'm gonna make you roll for that one. We'll see how how he takes this. So I'm going to say that the difficulty to kind of allow him to see this as a valid form of communication. I'm just going to say you just need to roll a 7 or above. So your deed categories are going to be, let's see, sway and attention. And just roll a D4.
D4. Oh, that's not good.
Oh, no. This is just to see what your stat is, because you're randomly rolling for your stats. So you got charm. So you're trying to do this in a very charming way to like your eyeballs. So now you're going to roll a D6.
Plus my my bonus there, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, you automatically succeed without even adding any peculiarities or knacks or anything. But, okay, so tell me, how do you charmingly lick your eyeballs to communicate what you're wanting?
So in the little icon for the character and the screen, he's wearing one of those like straw barbershop quartet hats. So I'm gonna like take the hat off and do the hat in hand thing, holding it in front of me, have my head down real low, and just lick an eyeball, then the other one, and just nod at him like and then give him like the best puppy dog stare a lizard could manage.
Great. And so he kind of like looks and he's just like, "Well, thank you for that, but no need to do that again." And he kind of like looks down at the cube. He's like, "But I did spend quite a bit of coin on this sugar cube. I was going to save this for a little bit later at a tea party."
How can I do this with one word? Because that was the challenge I was going to give myself tonight after you guys gave me the idea. I'm just going to hold my hands out and say, "Come."
He's like, "Excuse you, what do you mean by that?"
"Party. Come."
He's like, "Oh, oh, believe me, I've been opening Eliza's mail for quite some time, and I knew that the party was coming. I was already coming to begin with, but no need to invite me. I was going to go myself, but and so he kind of like leaps up. He is bipedal and he kind of like struts past you, and he's just like, you can't have my sugar cube, but I will be going right this very moment to Eliza's cottage. So thank you for the unnecessary invitation.
What kind of animal is he again?
A hedgehog.
Hedgehog. Okay.
Yeah.
Hedgehog.
So, do you do anything as he kind of like walks past, and he is a little bit taller than you, and he's looking down.
Sugar?
He's like, again, you cannot have my sugar. It is Eliza's and my own sugar that would be sharing with her grandfather. Don't say anything. Of course, you can't really quite communicate clearly, of course, so I'll say it to some animal. Here's the secret. I'll be proposing this evening in front of her grandfather, and of course she'll say yes, and I'm guessing you'll be a spectator. Toodaloo.
Sugar.
So he kind of tightens his grip.
Oh. No, hedgehog, never mind. Wait, hedgehogs, do they eat lizards? I'm gonna do something really weird here, possibly. Do hedgehogs eat lizards? Yes, they do. Okay. I'm gonna do something kind of weird. I'm gonna offer him, I'm gonna hold my tail out and go, sugar? Eh? Eh?
Oh my god. You're all turning into my other campaign too. Okay, so we're gonna roll again for that one. So however successful this is, okay. I'm gonna say this is an extremely hard roll. You're going to have to roll with all the modifiers and everything a 12 plus. So
okay.
I'm gonna say this is definitely sway. And I'm going to say clever pause. So roll a D4 to see which one that you roll for.
D4.
3, so it's pother. This is actually a perfect tonally. So now roll D6.
Okay.
You have a 1 in 3 chance.
I mean.
Okay, so it's a 2 plus, let's see. So 2 plus, so you're at 9. Do you have any modifiers you can add?
I have that 1 in pother under peculiarities.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so you're at 10. So what you can do is either take the fail or you can buy 2 AP points to bring you 2 points into pother.
And we would trade my tail for his sugar cube?
If that's what you want to do, yes, of course, your success would allow that.
I'm going to do it.
All right. So as you kind of okay, explain how you pop off your tail.
So I just I got it, I'm holding it it's swung over to my one side. I got, we'll say my right hand at the top of it and my left hand's holding it kind of in the middle. And I'm and I just kind of pull it off, just to give it a little tug and pop it off and be like, lizard.
So
sugar.
So he's so he kind of looks down at you and he kind of looks at the tail and he goes, well, I would say this is maybe, no, you're right. There is brilliance behind those dull eyes. Blizzard tail is actually quite a delicacy compared to sugar cubes. It's rare. Yes, of course. And so he kind of snatches it really quick and he throws a sugar cube in your claws, and he's like, yes, of course. And so he can't help himself. The little nub part that you kind of broke apart, he kind of just goes nibbles on it a little bit just for himself, and then he kind of scampers away. So great,
Lizard.
you have the sugar. So you have the sugar. This is so weird.
This is so
You
crazy.
said I could be weird. You said
So-
weird.
Yes, that's wonderful. All right, so now we're going to go towards let's see, Emma or Chris. Let's see, or Chris and Meg. Which group wants to go next?
I can go after the lemon.
Sure. Okay. So, so for the lemon, you do realize when you go into Eliza's garden, there's been a few pests around. The fruit flies have actually eaten all of her strawberries and her lemons. So the only other place that you can get it in the village would actually be the Vicarage Farm, which is at the middle of the map, just a little bit south of towards the middle, if you can see it. But Vicarage Farm, everyone dreads going there. It's their last resort, and you only go there in a pinch, which you are. Vicarage Farm is owned by Mr. Thom Ives. The reason why he's dreaded is because he's an animalist, someone who looks down upon animals. So, knowing this, when you go there, what do you say to yourself to kind of like mentally prepare, like how you're going to potentially deal with someone who's an animalist?
Let's see. She would really just kind of focus on, making sure that she kept everything in her mind that she's learned to be, more poetry, the other side,
Mhm.
keep everything she's learned for her books, just make sure her language is forefront, just kind of giving her
the best in people, very intellectual. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see if that happens. So, as you go to the Vicarage Farm, you do see him kind of like, tilling at the ground, and he already has a few animals that are like very sheepishly, looking for strawberries, carrots, and, the lemon that you specifically need. But there are quite a few lemons. There's quite a few strawberries that you can pick from. It's just how you are able to pick them. That's the key. And if it's successful in the right lemon. So when you go in there, you see Mr. Ives look at you, and he goes, "Well, another dirty little animal in my farm. What do you want?"
Oh, hello. I'm very sorry to bother you. I was hoping I could find a lemon from you. We are having some company and we need a lemon for it.
A lemon? Okay. Well, I will say, try not to get your paws into anything else. I only allow animals like yourself, non-humans, of course, to only get one fruit. If you try to get a second one, you are forever banned from my farm. So be careful. I'm always watching.
Of course. I will only grab one fruit, just the lemon from you.
All right. So he kind of like gives you like a sneering scowl as he kind of like goes back at tilling the earth. So, as you kind of like look at each bush, there's one bush in particular with one big, plump, fat lemon full of juice. It's almost like just circular. At this point, it is packed full of just the most ripest juice that you could get in a lemon. How do you go about getting it from the bush?
Well, she would, because she has huge claws, so she would try to like keep her claws away and like as gingerly as she could, like twist it from its like branch.
Mm-hmm. All right, great. Yeah. So let's see if this happens. So I'm gonna say, since you're trying to twist it. Your deed categories are going to be valor and braininess. So just keep an eye on that for your character sheet. So, and I'm going to say you just need to roll a 7 or above. So roll a d4 first for what stat you're going to roll or use. A 2. All right. So it's intrepidity. So you're trying to be bold and gutsy as you try to get this, really big fat lemon. So now you're going to roll a d6. Wow. Okay. So, so you have a 5 in intrepidity plus the 6 that you rolled. Wow. You blew past it. So you don't even have to use your modifiers. It's almost as if these beginning scenarios are easy on purpose. So, tell me, how do you, in a very brave, gutsy way, portray to all the animals around you, including that horrific man, Mr. Ives, showing him up? How do you grab this and twist this lemon off the vine?
So she'll probably just have a paw on either side, but her claws are really kind of pointed back, as far away from it. One on the top, one on the bottom, and she'll just give it a solid twist to the right and see if she can gently get it off the branch there.
Great. You do it, and it does succeed. And so when you do this, you do see some of the animals, they use their palms, and they're just very quietly clapping with little tiny smiles. And as this happens, as players, I'm telling you, the haphazardry timer has arrived. So every 30 minutes, some kind of weird, chaotic event happens in the game. So you just happen to be at the 30-minute mark of us playing this. So I grabbed a haphazardry card. So there are pests. The same pests that grabbed and ate Eliza's fruit have now started to go into the vicarage farm. You start seeing Mr. Ives going, "Oh no, not the pest, no!" And so he's trying to get his little tilling tool, and he's just very in a very failing way, trying to slap all these fruit flies from the sky and from the air around him. He's completely failing, and they're swarming all around him. And you see the swarm start to come towards you in your lemon. So how do you want to get away from these pests, or at least deal with them?
Dahlia is just gonna tuck that lemon like a football, as close as she can, and just start taking off, running, no.
so this is a huge lemon to you, So you're a mole, right? So let's see if you successfully do this. So we're going to do the same thing. So your deed categories are going to be clever paws and, let's see, I'm going to say sway. All right. So this is going to be a really difficult task now. I'm going to say you're going to have to roll a 13 or more in order to succeed this.
Okay.
So roll a 1d4 to see which stat you're going to use.
Okay.
4. All right. We haven't gone that yet. So that's going to be sense. So you're trying to be rational and sensible about this. So that actually checks out. So now you're going to roll a d6.
Okay.
Okay. So let's look at your character sheet. You rolled a 5.
Mm-hmm.
So you already have a 5. So you just need 3 more in order to succeed. So you have a +1 in sense for it has a job. And then
I get +1 in sense for pursues the higher self.
Yeah. Okay. So you'll need one. So, do you want to buy an AP point?
Yeah, I'll buy an AP point.
Okay, great. And I will say for Eric, I meant to like have either of us move you towards the +2 or the -2, but we hit the 30-minute mark, so it doesn't really matter. So it resets. But for Emma, it's just the beginning. So I'm going to move you towards poetry. So you bought 1 point.
Okay.
So tell me, how do you get out of there with this thing tucked under your clothing? Because all these fruit flies are coming towards you, and these are big flies, to you at least. So they're coming fast.
Yeah. I mean, I feel in that situation, for as much as Dahlia tries to be otherwise, she would kind of get a little bit more animalistic in her, like, how she tries to run, and it's more like a chug to dig out of there.
Great, yeah. So as you do get out of there, you do hear that bigot of a man in the background, just like, no! And then you hear all the animals like start crying out too in the farm. It's quite obvious. The whole farm, you got the last fruit out of there, like unscathed, unbidden, like it's all going to be rotten here soon. So you got the last one. So now we are going to move to the last group. So Chris and Meg. So what you're going to do for the cake, there's only one animal in the village that has an already made cake. He makes one every week. That is Mr. Toad. On the map, it's at the center of the map, a little bit towards the left. It's his household is called the Green Man. And so Mr. Toad, that you kind of know, he's always a little cantankerous. He's a little angry. He has a little bit of attitude. No one really knows why, but also no one's really taken the time to ask either. So, as you two are going towards the Green Man household of Mr. Toad, is there anything for a game plan of what you want to do or plan for to get his cake? You could either, in this game, you are encouraged to either sneak or be truthful, manipulate, trick. It's whatever you want to do.
So, just leaning into the absolute innocence that is Mr. Temple, he thinks that we're basically just going to go in there and just ask for the cake, and everyone's going to be happy. It's going to be sunshine and rainbows. Mr. Toad's going to be like, oh, can I come to the party? And we're all going to be like, yeah, of course. The more, the merrier. And then it's going to just be like, happily ever after for everyone.
And Eliza will respond to that enthusiasm and just say, that's a great outlook to have. We definitely need to get the cake. The cake's very, very important. So we will invite him. We will ask him how his day is, how baking has been lately. We'll lay it on as thick as the icing on his cakes. But genuinely, we do like Mr. Toad, even though he can be a bit of a grumpy Gus. He would probably get along really well with Grandfather now that I think of it. Maybe we should invite him to the party after all.
Oh, Mr. Toad would be such a great addition. After all, I'm sure that he would love to have one of his own cakes for once, instead of just having other people take them or have to give them away to other people. I'm sure that he actually makes them for himself. And if he has it for himself and he has it also to share, that's even better.
Wonderful.
Mr. Temple also, just because I noticed this and I think this would be really funny to do. Squirrels have the nibbly feature, the nibbly peculiarity, where they always have a few snacks on them.
Wonderful.
And I'm just going to pull out a full lemon and just eat it. And I just have a lemon, and I just have num 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 num, and I'm just eating it.
Oh, wonderful. I love that. Yeah, if anyone sees anything on their character sheet, just like with Eric and Christian, like definitely use it in your role playing. I'll say after the session what someone else did with their tail. It's just as horrific, but so as you kind of get to the Green Man household, you do already see Mr. Toad with a big frown, and this is the type of toad that the mouth is just like from one end to the other of his face, and it's just a complete downward frown. And as he's like looking at you all, you can already see he's just shaking his head like, of course they're going on my lawn again, you know? And so before you can even knock on his door, he opens the door really quick and he goes, "What did I say about you rapscallions going on my lawn?"
Oh no. We're people on your lawn again. I'm so sorry. And
Hello, Mr. Toad. How are you doing today? I hope you're having a wonderful day.
No, I'm not having a wonderful day. I have a bad day every day, and here we are with a cherry on top. You're here.
Don't you love it when I come here, though?
No, of course not. Do you hear my tone?
I do, and it just sounds like the kind of tone you gotta turn upside down, and then it'll be that smile instead of a frown.
And so then he's so irritated at you. He kind of looks at Eliza and he's just like, "Can you just please speak some kind of sense of English, some kind of civility? I don't know what this animal's trying to say to me. Why are you here?"
Speak
up.
We came for one of your cakes. We came for
Like-
one of your marvelous cakes.
I only have one left.
Oh,
And this one, I was going to eat it myself, and here you are again, another cherry on top.
Well, why don't you eat it yourself with other people?
Why would I want to share? Do you always want to share your food?
I share all my food with people, and I pull out a couple more snacks, and so I've got like some granola bars. I've got some strawberries. I've got some caramelized flies.
Oh. I'm going to have you roll for that one to see how persuasive you are. So I'm going to say that's Clever Paws and Sway. So I'm going to need you to, let's see, I think you're so innocent. And since you pulled out the snack, I'm just going to say you just need to roll a 9 or above to,
Yay!
succeed with this. So roll a d4 to see which stat you're going to use.
Let's go.
4.
Oh,
okay.
That's my worst stat.
So you're going to use sense.
Something that Mr. Temple does not have.
Now I will say, if you fail, or if you want to change it right now, you can summon Pother at any point to make the stat a little bit better. But I'm just going to
summoning Pother. How exactly does that work again?
So you can just say, you look at your character sheet and you think, let's see, you do have a better stat in Pother right out of the gate. So you can just say, whatever you roll, you're going to be using that 6 instead of the 4 for sense. And
I have to decide that before I roll, though, right?
yes. And
Ooh.
if you do it and you do succeed, and you can also add AP points to the summoning Pother. I have to have you roll a summoning Pother consequence.
Ooh. You know what? I'm a chaos gremlin. Let's go for it. I'm going to use my Pother, which is a 6. So
Sure.
the sort stat is a 5, and then my I'm dramatic, so I get a +1 to Pother, making it a 6.
Great. All right. So roll 1d6.
Hey, I would have gotten it hit with the other one too.
Yeah, but it's a little more chaotic.
But I like this. I wanted to roll for the Pother, the Pother bother.
Nice. Okay, so let's see what the roll is going to be. So I'm going to have you roll a 1d4.
1.
1, okay. Okay. So for the next 15 minutes, you cannot perform another Clever Paws deed until the end of the next 15 minutes. So I doubt it'll be a big deal for you, but just like little consequences like that.
Yeah.
So tell me in a very bothering way.
So I just am like, yeah, no, I've got all of these snacks. I've got like some strawberries. I got some granola bars. Here's some trail mix. Ooh, I've got these caramelized flies here. I've got a couple of chocolate crickets, and I'm just pulling them all out of my pockets,
God.
and they're just like all in my hands. I'm holding like with both hands, like all in front of me, and some of them are even like falling out of my hands onto the floor. But those caramel flies and the chocolate crickets are right there on top.
Jeez, this is just disgusting. So he kind of like looks at all of it, and so he's kind of like, he sees you're being so innocent about it, and you are being so genuinely nice. And the fact that you're just showing him your pretty much infinite amount of snacks in your pockets, like just like spewing out. He goes, well, okay, of course. So you're making a mess. So just please stop it. As I'm assuming you're still just pouring this stuff out. He's like, please stop. Okay, okay, of course. Okay, fine. I will go to this party if you stop getting your insatiable, delicious. And so he's like trying to wipe away the drool away from his lips, and he's like, these snacks. Oh, okay. Maybe we can use these as toppings for the cake. Oh.
Ooh, that would be so much fun! Oh my gosh, we could do that. We could put all the strawberries on it. Then we can put all of the we can put the caramel flies on top because I know that you like those. And then we can put the chocolate crickets. And then we could do. And I'm just like throwing out like all the different ways that we could add this to the cake.
And so as he kind of like puts the cake down, and Eliza, like what are you doing?
Eliza would probably say, oh, yes, we could have like a little topping bar for everybody can choose their own toppings for their cakes and personalize it to their liking, depending on if they like granola or caramel flies.
Oh my goodness, Eliza. Miss Eliza, you're such a smart person. That's a wonderful idea. We should do that.
Thank you for the compliment, Temple. That's very, very kind of you. Mr. Toad, we're so sorry that we started off our visit on the wrong foot, but we would really love to have you join us this afternoon. We're having an impromptu party that I kind of forgot about for my grandfather, and we're going to have tea and serve your cake and maybe flower crowns and things like that. Can you join us?
And he's like, well, it does seem like I would like your grandfather. I have heard of him come throughout the village from time to time. Yeah, well, yes, of course, and of course I'll go for all the snacks and the toppings, and I think it'll be a great topper for my cake. And so he kind of like he was going to put the cake on the ground, but he doesn't want to be a little dirty about it, like putting this wonderful cake on the ground. He hands it to you as he's about to like grab all these snacks. He's like, could you just hold this really quick? Just don't drop it.
Sure.
So now we are going to roll to see how this is going.
There we go.
So I'm going to say your deed categories are going to be Clever Paws and Valor. And so the difficulty of this, it's a big cake. So unfortunately, it's going to be a 12 plus for you to hold on to this thing. So roll a 1d4.
Yeah, alrighty. It's a 2.
So you get intrepidity, so you're bold and gutsy.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see how your stats for that are. So you have a 4 in that. All right. So I will say I'll offer this to you as a piece of advice. You could do summon Pother and risk it. Or you can keep the stat.
Oh goodness.
Let the chaos flow through you.
Yeah, I feel like I almost have to, because this cake is very, very important, and my Pother is a higher stat.
Yeah. So
yeah.
If you succeed, I have a great idea.
yeah.
Oh no.
So roll a 1d6.
Alrighty, 1d6. A 3.
So 3. So what is it? You need 3 more?
So I've got a 9 right now. Yeah.
I would say probably don't have any modifiers. So you can either take the fail or you can buy AP points, which it ends in 10 minutes. So I almost can guarantee you that you're not going to start either stopping what you're doing immediately and start painting or reading, or just take off your animal clothes and go into the wild woods. I doubt either of those 2 things are going to happen. So
I would buy the 3 additional poetry points. Yes, let's do that. Again, the cake is very important.
All right, so you're a 3. Let's just hope in those 10 minutes I didn't trick you. So
yeah.
All right. So tell me in a very chaotic manner, when he hands you this cake, how do you hold it?
I think she's gonna take it, because I'm assuming he's a little bit taller, and so he's kind of reaching it down. So she has to reach up, and it's just gonna kind of wobble as she slowly brings it down closer to her torso. It maybe like smudges a little bit of icing on one of her little paws.
Okay.
Oh! I got it. Okay.
So, as you do this, you see Mr. Toad just like hold it, like he's like trying to like keep his snacks in his hands, and he's just like, please be careful. And when you kind of like stabilize it, he goes, oh, that was almost a tragedy. Oh, I am so grateful that the worst has already passed. So, Christian
my idea was so as like when you're like starting to lose your balance, like Temple was going to kind of like try and counterbalance it, and then it was gonna like fall onto like Temple, and then he's like holding it and then kind of like almost falling over, and then it falls onto Mr. Toad, and then he's almost falling over, and then it gets back to Eliza.
Yeah.
Kind of just we pass it between each other because we can't handle the weight of it.
Cool. So as everyone's kind of like heading back to the cottage, which I'm gonna say is probably outside the map, so we don't really need it, but as everyone's kind of like traveling back, everyone kind of meets up on the same road accidentally, but you all happen to see the same troublesome goat up ahead, and it does see you. It's Satan. The same.
Wait, what? All right, guys, we're playing this cozy game where you guys play as woodland animals, and then Satan.
Satanic goats.
That's in the book. So the animals hate this goat so much they've named him Satan.
Just please tell me he has like the upside down star on him and like the blood red eyes.
No. So you do see Satan from up the road, and he is the only thing between you and Eliza's cottage. And you see him kind of like, again, he notices you and he goes, oh. He's starting to like start doing the goat scream. What do you all do in this moment?
Well, hello, Mr. Satan. Would you like to join us for a tea party?
And so, you know what, Christian? We're gonna roll. So,
Come on, guys! You knew I was I was going full ADHD energy going into this.
And as soon as Temple says that, Eliza's spines just go poof, and she is a complete pricker ball.
all right,
Still
we're gonna
holding
roll
this
for that
cake.
one too.
Am I there for all this? Or am I back with everybody?
Yeah,
here?
now everyone's with
You're
each
with
other
us,
now.
yeah.
You ever see those gifs of the goat doing like the tongue wag thing? Where
Yeah.
it's just like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna do that at the goat.
Oh my god. So, Emma, do you do anything?
Dahlia, since she kind of tucked the lemon in front of her, she's gonna try and like shift it in her clothes to like her back, so she can.
All right. So, this is actually perfect. We're gonna make this a collaborative roll.
Oh boy.
So, a collaborative role in Riverbank is that every single person has to succeed the role. If one person fails, it fails for everyone. So,
Boy.
I'm just going to say I won't be too evil. Everyone needs a 13 plus in order to succeed. Because there is a reason why you all have nicknamed this goat Satan. If you all fail. So, the challenge is 13 plus, and I'm going to say attention, clever pause, and discretion. So 3 of them for your deed categories. So everyone's going to roll a 1d4. Okay, great. So, what, Christian, you rolled a 1, and Eric? Okay, so, Christian, Eric, you got charm. Meg, you got intrepidity, and Emma, you got pother. And then now we roll for 1d6.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
This is
amazing. Uh-oh.
So everyone add up their modifiers. Tell me what your final score is before we decide if people want to summon pother or add or like buy points.
That is a 9 from Temple.
So where am I getting these modifiers?
They're in your peculiarities, your knacks.
Okay.
So where it says final stat, on the right side from where it says charm.
That would be my total
So that's
bonus?
your no, so that's your first number. Your roll is another number. So then you add those two, and then you look in your innate peculiarities and your personal peculiarities and see if you can add like any kind of like modifiers to that, including your knacks.
Okay, so maybe plus 3. No, plus 1.
In that case, I might be misunderstanding it. So do I just add like the very first number?
So it's the final stat. So you add the final stat, including your dice roll, with any modifiers under the peculiarities in knacks.
So is that not already like all included? It's a final stat?
Not necessarily, because a lot of it's role play. So you have to like look at it, yeah. So
Yeah,
I think, go on.
Yeah, so my final stat is 5 on charm. So I would do 5 plus the 4 that I rolled.
Okay. So you're
Right?
9?
Yeah.
Okay, 9? Okay, so do you want to go to, let's see, do you want to go to Pother? I doubt it, right? Or do you?
No, it only adds 1.
All right, fine. So do you want to buy points?
I would need to buy 4 points for this, right?
Oof, geez, yeah. So you're
I'm
the
gonna
animality.
do it. Because it's gonna get reset soon anyways, right?
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. So for everyone else, do I need to help you with adding?
No, I think I have a 6 with that one I rolled because I have a 5 for my final stat.
Okay. So do you want to buy your points?
How many do I need?
13.
13. Yeah, no.
So you would
I'm
go
not-
to.
I have to do 7 points.
You wouldn't be at 8. You'd still be in the clear.
Mm.
Or
Why
you can take the
not?
fail.
Why not? We only play however often we play with this system. Let's drive it like we have the extra insurance.
Let's do it.
And also, to answer your point, Christian, technically in character creation, they give you certain like modifiers to like add those. So that's what those are. But
Yeah. No,
But,
I just saw the peculiarity and I thought that was like what was from the personal peculiarities. I thought that was already put in there.
No, you actually might be right. So I might have done that wrong. But since we made it this far, I don't want to like remove points by that point. But so I do apologize for that. But yeah, so you're at 7. So is everyone like okay at this point? Anyone succeeded? Anyone need to buy points at all? Summon Pother?
I only got 6.
6? Okay. Oh my gosh.
Are you able to swap to Pother? Like, does that make your roll better?
Mm. Don't know.
Oh, you did roll Pother.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Yep. All right. So it looks like we go and fail. Okay. Took a little bit to get there, but we got it. So I can't wait. So here's why he's named Satan. So Satan starts yelling. Just like kind of like a horrific, annoying goat sound. If you've ever been on a farm, it's just the most annoying thing on the face of the planet. And so let's see what he does. Oh yeah. So Delilah, he goes over to you and he starts to eat your clothing. So can you roll a 1d4 and I'll start telling you what the deed categories are.
Okay.
Clever pause and discretion. So you roll a 2 or you
Yep.
Okay, you roll a 2. So intrepidity, you're being bold and gutsy, so roll a 1d6.
Okay.
Four. So let's do it this way. So I was just gonna say it was really easy, so it's gonna be a 7. So you did succeed.
Okay.
And that, yeah, so you did succeed. And how do you get him away from you as he's kind of like nibbling on your clothes, like trying to get to the lemon?
So on Dahlia's character sheet, one of her knacks is thump 'em. So I'm gonna say she just like swatted at the goat.
Fantastic. So he does kind of like get really scared in the moment. And because like this is kind of like the end of a cycle anyways, he's supposed to go. So this is actually a perfect moment for like you successfully slap him away. Everyone in the party is completely surprised that you are the only person to have ever gotten Satan away from you. So he starts to scamper away. Does anyone react to this?
Oh wow! Oh, go on. You first.
Oh, I was gonna say is once Eliza sees Satan scamper away, her spikes will start to slowly go back to nice and smooth.
So Eric, does Mr. Wim say a word?
Lizard.
Does anyone ever like in their characters, like does anyone ever just react to that?
Lizard.
Yeah, I think I could see us all be kind of like used to it, and we just understand.
You understand?
We just
it's kind of like the
right.
schnitzel from Chowder.
Yeah.
Just like you hear Wada, and they just know what you're saying.
Right. Yeah. Right. Precisely.
Point at him again and go.
So I will say, I drew another haphazardry card. So
oh boy,
something breaks. So we're going to see what breaks. So this is not what I expected, but this
I
is
hope
wonderful.
to God it's the lemon.
No!
Because I would be so funny with it.
So who is holding something? I think three of you are, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Eliza has a cake. Mm-hmm.
Dahlia has a lemon.
Sugar cube.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Eric, can you I'm gonna say across the board. so across the board, 10 is the challenge for everyone on this. Okay. So, but for Eric, can you roll valor? Or sorry, can you roll 1d4? But this is going to be under valor and clever pause. Okay, so you rolled a 1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's a charm. So you're peeling and pleasing in this action. So what are you trying to do to, hold on to this all of a sudden sugar cube that's just kind of slipping out of your hands for a second?
Okay. Those like old slapstick comedies where somebody steps on a bunch of marbles and it's like juggling everything, trying not to fall down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of doing that footwork while batting the sugar cube between my hands, trying to get a grip back on it before it hits the ground.
Wonderful. So now you're going to roll 1d6.
1d6. D6.
And I will say everyone's tokens go back to 0 because we've hit another haphazardry cycle. So everyone's at 0. So I will say you are missing a few points if you want to do that or go to summoning Pother.
Have I summoned Pother yet? I don't think I have. I think I've just been buying points.
Yeah.
Let's summon Pother. I want to see how that works out.
Sure. Okay. So let's see. You're Mr. Wim. So you do succeed. So you're going to roll I believe, 1d4.
And I got a 4.
4. All right. Okay. So every single time I say that you have to roll for clever pause, you get a +1 bonus. So you got a little buff to that. So it's a little chaotic. So tell me, kind of like in your last little action of like trying to hold on to this sugar cube, how do you successfully like finally hold on to it in a chaotic manner?
In the last final bappings of Sugar Cube to paw, I'll have him fall on his butt and just kind of like catch it with one hand above his head.
Perfect. Great.
It just kind of flops into his claws.
Great. So then, Emma, you are holding the lemon, correct?
Lemon. Yes.
Oh, let's see what happens. So, kind of the same thing with Eric. You are going to roll a 1d4, and it's going to be Valor and Clever Paws. So 2. So your intrepidity. So it's bold and gutsy. So 1d6.
Okay.
Oh boy.
So you needed good lord. So you roll a 1. So
Yeah.
let's see. You had what was it? Intrepidity, so it's a 4 plus 1. So you need 5 points in order to succeed that. Do you want to buy it? Because I don't even think if you switch to Pother, it would even help you. So
No. Yeah. How many points is it?
5.
5. Okay, I'll buy it.
Cool. So tell me how you successfully keep this lemon in your paws.
Well, since the goat had kind of started chewing on like her clothes a little bit, she's able to kind of pull the corners of the fabric and like get like a base like basket almost, so that it helps her as she holds the sides of it and kind of fumbles it around as she gets the fabric in place underneath.
Great. Perfect. And Meg, you were holding the cake.
Yep.
So
Yep. This
one
cake.
last time, let's see if you hold on to it. So it's a 1d4, and this is the same thing. You got to roll at least a 10 or above, and it's a Valor or Clever Paws.
Alrighty. So
3,
I rolled
Pother.
a 3, so Pother. I've got a 6 in Pother.
Mm-hmm.
So then a D6 is a 6. So that's a 12.
Oh, great. Yeah, so you succeed. Awesome. So tell me how, in a really chaotic manner, again, you hold on to this thing.
I think seeing her friends also struggling to juggle what they're carrying, her spikes just keep going in and out and in and out and in and out, and she's shaking the tray, and then she just starts saying, hold it together, hold it together, hold it together, hold the cake, hold the cake, hold the cake, hold the cake. And then she eventually just calms herself down, takes a deep breath. Okay, let's go home.
You keep having to move the cake left and right as your spikes keep coming out, trying to puncture it.
Yeah. She's also trying to not puncture her friends either. She's so kind of like shuffling around a little bit.
Great. Yeah. So as you all successfully get through this randomly chaotic moment, there's like this little bit of acknowledgement from everyone, like, okay, let's just get the hell home, to prepare for this tea party. So as you all kind of go in, naturally, I would assume the cake is placed on, a dining room table.
Mm-hmm.
There is a kettle with like hot water kind of preparing. You have like this big sugar cube, laying to the side, and the lemon is being just patiently, waited upon just for the right moment. So with 30 minutes left of this session, Eliza, you hear a knock at the door. By the way,
Ooh,
everyone's in the cottage, by the way, but you do hear a knock at the door.
Oh! I think grandfather might be here. I think he's a little bit early, even. But I think we're ready. I think we're ready. I'll go get the door. She'll shuffle off to go get the door.
So you open the door. It's actually Mr. Toad. Mr. Toad kind of like barges in. He's just like, wow, and he kind of like gets his big, gigantic, bulging pockets full of like these just horrifically disgusting like bug, like caramelized chocolate covered, like crickets and worms, everything. Puts it on the table just like messily. He's just like, I brought the extra snacks for the cake.
Oh yes, the topping bar, and she'll come in, Mr. Toad. I'm so glad that you're here. You're the first guest today. And she'll shuffle into the kitchen and maybe grab a couple little bowls and lay them out on the table with the cake. And go ahead, you could put the toppings in the bowls. Try not to mix them up, though.
He's like, yes, of course. I just, it's not quite often I get to be excited, of course. I just, sometimes people say I'm a little bit of a sourpuss, maybe a little bit of an over-exaggeration, but I'm quite excited to have this tea, including the bugs, of course.
Oh.
He kind of like looks at Mr. Wim, and he goes like this. He goes, how are you doing, Mr. Wim?
Good.
He's like, you actually said something other than lizard. I am quite impressed.
Lizard.
He's like, well, I guess I would say I am unimpressed now. But and so he kind of like fixes his little vest, and so he like looks at everyone at the party. He's like, so does anyone have a greetings gift for me?
A greetings gift?
Yes, of course. Just like when you have a guest over, I don't know. I just assumed I would be given a gift. I just, I've never been a guest before. I don't know. I didn't mean to assume.
Yes. Dahlia, do you have any of those flower crowns you were working on earlier?
Dahlia comes from like around a corner, like, oh, I was on it. And she starts handing flower crowns to everyone.
He's like, oh, yes, of course. Oh, thank you. And so he kind of like puts it on just right. He like looks at Dahlia and he's like, is this quite all right?
Yes. It looks lovely.
And so he even though he's a toad, he does blush. He's like, yes, of course. So this is marvelous. It's the best first party I've ever been to. And so he kind of like sits down. And so when this happens, Eliza, you hear the door knock again.
Oh, that must be grandfather. Oh, okay. She'll shuffle back over to the door again.
And so as you open it, you just kind of like regurgitate in your mouth a little bit. It is, unfortunately, Mr. William Fancy Paws. And he goes, Darling, has the events of the tea party begun yet?
Nope. And she's going to immediately try and close the door again.
And so he kind of like puts his foot in the door. He's like, oh, just maybe your guests would invite me in. I have, and so he kind of like is trying to squeeze
Oh my
his tail.
goodness. We have another guest.
Temple.
Oh wow. We've got another person coming on in.
Temple.
See, I'm invited by law. I'm allowed in.
Look,
He's making
it's
this
the
up,
more
by the
the
way.
merrier, though. Miss Eliza, we can invite another person to come and join us and have a good time with the cake and the toppings.
I would say it's quite odd that you couldn't call me a person, but I'll forgive that. I'm an animal, but just if you just let me in. And so he's like trying to show you like this little nub of a tail of Mr. Wims. He's like, look, I brought a snack for us. It's quite a delicacy.
Where did you get that tail? And she'll turn around and look at Wim.
I'm just gonna like look behind me and do a wiggle. No tail there.
I will say this: the tail is like fast growing, but it's still just almost like this little just this little disgusting little nub.
Yeah,
And
it's
it
just a
kinda,
little nub.
wags a little
Yes.
bit.
He has the Deadpool baby hand tail.
Oh,
And so he's like, so please, like, look, your whole party will, please, I beg of you, I have an important question to ask you, of course.
Yeah, come on, Miss Eliza. I mean, the more the merrier. And remember the last time that I had a party and we had over my cousin and my cousin's cousin and my dad's cousin and then my sister and then my brother and then my mom and then my grandma and then my other grandma and then my grandpa.
Okay, we get it.
Yes,
okay,
yes.
okay.
Then you're in charge of entertaining Mr. Fancy Paws Temple because I just do not have time.
Hooray!
Yes, of course.
We've got
So
flower
Dealman.
crowds, and we've got all these toppings, and you've got your thing that you can add to the toppings bar, and then we can have. And I'm just leading him inside. We'll just like constantly talking,
And so he's just like, yes, of course. I just would like to, in these.
and
like,
I
trying to,
pull him
like,
away.
shuffle his pocket. So he's trying to like get to
He
his
doesn't.
pocket.
He
But I have
doesn't
an
get a
important
chance
question.
to talk. I pull him away, just not realizing that he's trying to do something, but like I'm just like, because I'm so excited, I kind of pull him away from Eliza. I'm sure this is like extremely important information he's trying to say too.
So as this happens, you hear another knock at the door.
Oh, if this isn't grandfather, I swear it better not be Satan. Actually, maybe Satan would be better.
I'll slap him again.
So do you open the door?
Yes, I think at Dahlia's comment, she'll go, "Will you answer the door with me, dear?"
Of course. And she gets in, like, kind of up behind you.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So, as you open the door, meeting in your eyes is your loving grandfather, Mr. Dooley. He goes, "Darling, my sweet darling. Oh, Eliza, what? You've grown." I would say it's been about maybe like a year or two since you've seen him.
Okay.
Mhm.
Oh, grandfather, it's so good to see you. I've been so excited for your visit. Please come in.
And so he kind of goes in there. He's like, "Oh, guests. Oh, so many guests." And and so he kind of like does look at Mr. Wim, and he just goes, "No, I may be as blind as a bat, but what happened to you, sir?"
Hmm?
Yeah, so who else am I speaking to? The one without the tail.
I'm gonna point over at who I gave the tail to, and be like, "Snack."
So he just goes, what an unorthodox party you have here. It is a tea party, right, my darling?
Oh, yes. We have tea and lemon. We have fresh lemon, thanks to Dahlia, and we have some sugar for your tea as well, thanks to Wim, and Temple helped me procure a cake from Mr. Toad. Mr. Toad is here.
And so you see Mr. Toad just like very excited, just being this. It's his first party, so he just kind of like does this like really excited like wave, like like ear to ear, grin, just like waving his hand like a little too excitedly. He goes, "Eliza, make sure I sit far away from that gent."
Okay.
And so, but he's just like, "Oh, but this dashing young fellow." And so he looks at Mr. Fancy Paws. He's like, "He can sit with us. He seems like a quite reasonable folk."
And Mr. Fancy Paws at this point has so many arts and crafts stuff all over him. He's got like 5 flower crowns all stacked on top of his head. He has like glue and like paper scraps and whatnot like all over him, and he probably has the look of "save me" on his eyes. And Temple's just being like, yeah, and then that was the time that my sister broke her leg, and so we had to go and bring her to the doctor, and then we had to go and get like the special medicine. We had to go across the river to do that, and that's when we met with my other cousin. And then my other cousin, he was like, yeah, I know a guy in that other town. And then we went there, and it was just like this really dark and like kind of like dirty part of town, but it was like really fun because then we ended up meeting this guy who was like, he came at us with a tire iron, and we thought that he was gonna like chase us around, but he offered us candy. It was really weird candy, and like it made me feel really weird afterwards, but it was like really fun time.
So you see this like Fancy Paws completely beside himself. He cannot get a word in, and his hand is like or his paws are just soaking wet from sweat. He's so nervous about trying to ask his question. He just can't get out the words. And you see like your grandfather at this point, it's not that he's mentally checked out, is that this has become like just background noise to him because of his bad hearing. And so as this kind of ruckus is happening around him, he looks at you and he goes, "Now, Eliza, could you pour me one of your famous cups of tea for me, please?"
Oh, of course, of course. Would you like sugar and lemon?
As you say this, we hit the last haphazardry card. You hear another knock at the door.
I'm running out of room. Dahlia, can you be a dear and answer the door, please?
Oh, of course. She'll scurry over to the door and answer.
So as you just unlock the door just a little bit, Dahlia, okay. How carefully do you open this door?
Fairly, because she'd want to be able to see and register who before she fully opened the door.
Okay. So as you kind of like open it, you see this gigantic human child's eye of a 4-year-old. And he goes like this. Can I pet you?
That's genuinely terrifying.
Talia is just gonna like go absolutely rigid.
And you see these kind of like really chubby child fingers just kind of like start going in the middle, like that, like the little space between the doors, just slowly kind of like wedging it open.
I'm trying to slam that door so fast, just no.
Oh my god. Okay, so I want you to roll, and I want you to roll for Valor. So 1d4. So it's gonna be Valor and let's see. Discretion. So 1d4. Let's see.
Sorry.
You're good.
There we go.
Oh, okay. So you're trying to be rational and sensible, so it's sense. So roll a d6. So I was gonna say this was like an easy like roll for you. So I was gonna say you just need a 5, right? So you have a sense. So you were more than capable, like right out the gate, that you're going to succeed in this. As you slam this door shut, you slam it on this kid's chubby fingers. And so like it does the initial slam, and then like the fingers like feel the pain, and then they retract backwards. And when you slam the door shut, finally, you just hear just like screaming, like this kid is like going wild, like banging on the door. I mean, this kid's huge compared to the cottage. So like the roof is shaking, dust's going all over the place. This kid is having a temper tantrum, and your father or your grandfather is just going this, "Now what in the Sam hell is going on? Is this an earthquake?"
Dahlia's
Dahlia.
just she'll turn around and just, I don't do kids. No children, please.
At the mention of kids again, Eliza's, all of her spikes go straight up. She probably spills or drops the teacup that she's holding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Christian, what does your character do in this moment?
Ooh. I'd be like, oh my goodness, is there another person at the door? Do we get to add another person to the party?
Dahlia's going to shove bugs in your mouth from the side. No.
Very good. I really like the caramelized fries. I wish they were a little crunchier. That's why I like the crickets a little more.
And so you see Fancy Paws grab a whole like cloth or a paws full of like flies and just shove even more into your mouth. And so and he's just like, Samuel, what are we going to do about this? And then all of a sudden you hear the child's parents on the other side of the door. Now they're both banging on the door, just going like this. We need to see who assaulted our child right now. Come out before we get the police.
Whoa, whoa. And just Temple's just talking with his mouth, his cheeks just full. You guys see, like, they're just like these huge, like, balls on both sides of his face because his cheeks are able to pack so much in.
It's like Ed and Eddie with the jawbreaker.
Yeah.
Great.
Oh, boy. Whoa.
Good. Anyone react to the parents?
Dahlia just kind of stared at the door. Just,
So as this happens, it kind of quiets down, and you hear one gentle little knock. The mother goes, "Can we please have someone in there, some civilized animal, answer the door, please, before we really get angry?"
Well, so please. Oh,
And so Fancy Paws is just like, my God, someone go to the door. I don't. And so he like looks at Mr. Wim. He goes, well, of course, you might be really good with words. Would you want to go to the door and explain the situation, sir?
great idea.
I love
We don't want these people. Okay, we don't want these people in the house. I'm just gonna open the door. No, clunk. just enough to stick my head in. Boom.
So let's roll. Let's see how persuasive that is. So just a 1d4. It's going to be Clever Paws and Sway.
3.
Okay, so it's Pother. So 1d6.
3.
So I was just gonna say a 7. So it's kind of middle of the road kind of roll. So you, where are you at? Yeah, you succeed in this. So as you go no, and you just like, do you slam the door shut? Do you just close it?
No, I don't slam it shut, but aggressively close it. Like
with purpose.
Yeah, like there's intent behind my closing of the door, but not like, screw you guys, I'm going home. It's more like, okay, done, going back to sit down.
Yeah. Mr. Wim is like, do you have a warrant?
so you do hear like the cowardly husband on the other side just trying to like calm down the wife, and he's just like, well, honey, maybe it's just our son interrupted them. And then like you hear the wife just go like this, you're siding with them. And it's like this whole bickering as they're trying to like calm down the screaming child. And you just hear it gets quieter and quieter and quieter.
This is why we're going through a divorce.
And so as it finally quiets down, your grandfather is just like this. Okay, well, as we were just, without any more interruptions, can I please just have the damn tea already?
Of course, grandfather, of course. And she'll refill the teacup with the lemon and the sugar.
Oh, yeah. So as you kind of like pour this, he's he looks at you. He's like, "So, Eliza, just what's new with you?" And you do see Fancy Paws. You do see Fancy Paws just like slowly, like you see like your grandfather's between you and him, and just like past his face, you see Fancy Paws just slowly getting in the frame, just like with a smile.
And she's going to counter move to that to stay out of his line of sight. I think Eliza will just start talking about, the garden has been blooming, and I've been doing these little craft days with my friends every couple of weeks, and I've got some pests in the garden. I have to take care of those probably coming up, but otherwise just enjoying my time and the cottage. I've been baking a little bit more and trying some new tea recipes and things like that.
So as he kind of listens to you, he goes, "Oh yes, of course," and even though half of it he can't even hear it, and so he kind of sips of the tea. He goes, "Oh wait," and he kind of interrupts you. He's like, "Oh my dear Eliza, just this tastes just like the tea that your grandmother used to make me. It's just how wonderful." And he kind of like looks up at the ceiling, but he kind of like sees it's kind of like almost dilapidated after what just transpired with the child. He goes, "Oh, well, never mind." And he like looks back at you, and he's like, "Just Eliza, just this is so wonderful. Just and with friends." And you see Mr. Toad just go like, "Friends? Me?" and so then you hear Fancy Paws go, "And perhaps more than friends." And so he goes, and of course, it's a natural part of this conversation. It's just now that we're on the subject of just being more than friends, I wanted you, Mr. Dooley, to witness, including everyone at this table, my future bride. So he gets on one little leg, and he's a hedgehog, so he barely like goes down, maybe like a couple centimeters as he goes on his knee, because he has super short little legs. And so like out of his like little deep pocket, he goes with this like little acorn ring. He goes, "I found the biggest acorn I could find in my yard this morning. Eliza, I know that you've denied me more times than I could count, but hopefully this time with your father present, you could." Yes.
It's been 7. This is number 8, but please continue.
No, what do you mean number 8?
I've been keeping track of how many times you've gotten down on that knee.
What are you? You can't be denying me in front of your grandfather. You wouldn't do that to him. Look at him. He wants to be a great grandfather. Please, give him that honor.
She's gonna turn and she's gonna look at her grandfather and say, "Grandfather, what do you want for me in my future?"
And so he kind of just like thinks about it for a long, hard moment. He goes, "Well, I just want you to be happy, of course, my dear Eliza. That's whatever you may think, but I have to approve, of course. I'm a little bit picky of the gent, the hedgehog that you partake in relations with, of course."
I can understand that, but I think what I'm hearing from you is that you just want me to be happy, right?
Oh, yes, but of course, but I have to agree to it, of course. I deserve that, right?
Well, I'm the only person who can make me happy. Everybody else kind of adds to that happiness. And my friends here, they make me happy.
You see Mr. Toad really happy at that comment as well.
Yeah.
And so Mr. Toad kind of comes in and he goes, yes, of course. I think you should probably put aside your own thoughts and just look into your own granddaughter's eyes. I can see it. She just wants to be happy, and I'm sorry, Mr. Fancy Paws, but probably not with you. And you see the grandfather just kind of like slump his shoulders. He goes, well, of course. So does everyone else agree that we just want to see Eliza happy? So,
Temple finally swallows all of the snacks that he's had in his cheeks, and he just is just like, well, I think that Eliza's always really happy. She's always having us over for all of these fun little crafts meetings. We're always having like a really good time. She comes along whenever like I ask her to go to any of my family events, and then she also like bakes us like little sweets. We go out and garden a little bit. She makes us tea. It's always a great time with Miss Eliza. She's such a wonderful person.
You see Fancy Paws just go like, it's shit, trap already.
But also, like every time Mr. Fancy Paws comes over, it's really funny because every time like he tries to pull her out of the house away from us, and we're just watching from the window, and then we see him going out on one knee, and then she says something.
He goes, just kick me out already.
And then like every single time it's like a bigger acorn, but like every single time she takes the acorn,
God, I'll take
puts
myself
it
out
back
already.
in.
So he stomps out the door and slams the door behind him.
Oh, I was gonna say, did he actually say kick me out? Because I was gonna be like,
yeah.
grab by his collar, walk him to the door, open, leave.
Yeah, you can do that. That's perfect. And this time, do you slam the door?
And I'll just turn around and just shrug at everybody.
Well, if there's one thing I can say is that, Mr. Fancy Paws is a very, 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 very persistent person. At least he's got that really positive trait about him, even though everything about him, like otherwise, makes me not really like him a lot.
And I'll actually say something to that, and it'll be a little out of character, but it'll be not the one word thing. Be like, yeah, I find his persistence to be quite annoying. Whenever you hear the word no, you're supposed to just drop the topic and move on. But he just keeps on yammering and yammering and yammering. And I'll stare at everybody after I say that and just shrug and sit down.
Mr. Temple, like with Mr. Temple also being a little out of character, saying like something that he doesn't like about someone, he also just kind of sits with you, acting like what just happened was the most normal thing possible. And then
Mr. Toad
finally, I don't say anything for a second.
How do you all react to it? What he just said?
After Eric, was it Wim? Yeah, after Wim is done, Dahlia will just kind of look there shocked and just, lizard?
do.
And so with that, I would say just kind of like everyone kind of like laughs about the whole scenario that just happened, and everyone's sipping this really great lemon tea, and you can imagine this is almost like an end of an episode of a sitcom, or kind of like Anne of the Green Gables, and the camera fades out of the cottage, and you hear just nothing but laughter and just like wonderment inside the cottage, and we just fade to black into credits, and you just see the title card, The Riverbank. And there we go. So, hopefully everyone had fun.
So much
Lizard.
fun.
Yeah.
Ben, I really had a lot of fun. Everything about this character is so great. I really like all the times that I get to just talk really fast and talk about how much I love everything and everybody. You guys are such great people. I really enjoy hanging out with all of you guys. Every single time that we have such a game, like it's such a good time. I like rolling dice with all of you and just talking and hanging out and like all the things that we get to talk about afterwards with it.
Fantastic.
I'll stop there.
No, you can. No,
I love playing these types of characters.
Oh no, I loved every single one of your characters, and there's always a worry for me, like when there's a pre-generated character, that it won't quite capture kind of like a lot of personality. It's more of a stat. But I think everyone here, brought so much to the character, and with like very little prep time to look at the character sheet, I think everyone did a fantastic job. So I'm applauding you all. Like you all did fantastic in your role play. But so I was gonna kind of like piggyback off of what Eric proposed. Let's talk about, what we felt like the system did well versus what we feel like, some criticisms that we might have of the system, or just preferences we may not, jive with.
I think that it's a very easy to pick up. Like myself and Eric, we both said starting this, like we didn't get a chance to read anything about this. We just kind of like jumped in. And with you running it, like it was very easy for us to just understand exactly like what we needed to roll and what we needed to do. I'm still a little confused about a couple of things, like why certain things are chosen, or like what the feats of valor or feats of like discretion or fast pause are. But overall, like it's a very easy system to pick up.
Sure.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
I also was a little confused by the deed category. So what the attention, brainiest, clever pause, discretion, sway, valor, what those things exactly were. And I feel like those were more under Nax, and I didn't realize that the Nax kind of added on to the D6 that we rolled. And that clicked for me on my last roll, which of course I succeeded. And so I didn't even have to, trigger one of those. But I don't think that was necessarily anything for you, Ben. I think it's just the way that the character sheet was set up, or is set up, the default character sheet. And so like if I played this again, I would edit my character sheet a little bit more for myself.
So as a GM, I completely agree with you all. So sometimes like the game, even in the rules, it's so wordy that like sometimes it over explains, and it does, sometimes it doesn't explain enough. So the whole deed category, I feel like it's hard to explain, in the sequencing of orders, because I have my little notes here. And when it comes to deed category, I even I just really hemmed and hawed of I'm just going to say it exactly as the rules tell me to do so. Because I know Eric had mentioned, I think the very first session we had ever done, I think it was going into Fabula Ultima or something, that whenever we do these things, that we should play the game as intended. And I feel like the design of the game, the way they kind of describe certain things, like the sequencing of order, at least from a GM side, it's confusing for me too. But I try to do it as intended as possible. So if I ever ran the game again with you all, I would do it the homebrewed way.
Right.
But I do it with my own friends, because with my own friends, we do it in a little bit of a different sequencing of orders. I usually have the deed category at the very end of the process. But
okay, yeah.
So that's just from my own perspective of the criticisms I have for it. But the positives, it's an incredibly easy system to learn.
I will.
Do I like a little bit deeper systems? Yeah, I mean, I prefer a little bit deeper. But this is a campaign. Personally, I'm going to progress with my other players for probably a year plus, because it's just, we just love the world so much. And I didn't get to do it with you all, but there's opportunities where you can do between times. So when you start off a session, when you started off a session this time, you all really didn't have an opportunity as characters to kind of be in the middle of a conversation. There was no history between you all. But what's so cool about this game is that they're between times. So there's cards that I draw, and you all will be given prompts of things that have happened, things you've collected, things that have occurred in the world. So those things as a GM, I'm wow, like there's so many opportunities to kind of like have longevity. But those are my criticisms, but also my my positives about it.
I also really like the concept of the AP points.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like being able to like say like you can use these, and like if you use too many, like there's like a consequence, but like you can use up to a certain amount to like help your rolls. I think that's a really cool thing for this system. The dice system overall, like there are certain dice systems that I tend to just dislike because it ends up with people failing more often than not. But like this system felt really good about like, um, it's pretty reasonable to succeed on a roll, and if you don't succeed, like it's very reasonable to like have like an actual success with like a problem with a twist.
Yeah, and even with Eric, like he was very close, very very close to getting the 8+. But even like the consequence, like there's no murder in the game. You can't die. So it's like the worst thing that you can do is just let's just say Meg had the cake. Like the worst thing that could have happened in that moment is that she completely just dropped the cake. It exploded all over the floor. She took off her animal clothes and just walked off into the woods. And she would just like be just out of commission, and just no one would have gotten the cake. So it's just like it's more of like inconveniences. And I think it fits with the tone. So I do like that.
Yeah.
I thought the haphazardry was kind of neat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, every 30 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah, I like that too.
It just
That was
adds
a neat
bit,
little mechanic.
Yeah.
So,
Just a little
Eric,
spice.
what are yours?
Well, I'll be honest, this isn't like a system that I would normally seek out.
Yeah.
But I think it's really good for those people who are looking for something more along the lines almost of like a improv acting rather than like a trad system. Because you're gonna, with some of the results I'm seeing, like you say, all right, well, you're going to be using charm, so the player loses some choice in how they're going to do their things that are going to do, and that's not necessarily a bad thing either. I mean, some people make, you took away my agency, but I mean, the system pushes you to go do something that you normally wouldn't have done in that situation, possibly, and it leads to something interesting.
Yeah, I didn't know how. I think I initially told this to all too, like losing that agency and that choice of like, for the most part, other than Pother, what your stat's going to be is a little jarring. Even as a GM, I'm like, wow, okay, you don't get to choose it, but it kind of maintains that level of randomness. Like I wouldn't recommend the system to a first time GM or player. Like I would want them to, to really have a lot more experience going into it. But like you said, like if you really love improv and you have experience in improv, I think this is like a really fun game every now and then, to explore. But,
yeah. The mechanic does force you to do things in ways that you may not initially want to do, but it does lead to interesting outcomes. And that's the important thing. It's not just going to go, yeah, you want to do that? Tough. You're doing this instead. It's like, no, you're going to do it with this kind of attitude. All right, well, how can I work with that? Okay, this is what I'm going to do. So yeah.
And then lastly, Emma, how do you feel about the system?
I thought the system was really fun. It's pretty light, kind of just like lighthearted at nature, I feel, in comparison to, well, obviously Alien, but
yeah. Total 180. Yeah.
Right. But yeah, a lot of my experience, like I said, is more that like D20 systems. And so having just the D4 and the D6, that was pretty fun just for that ease there. But yeah, overall, I liked it. I don't know if it's something that I would want to like, I personally would go for like a full campaign with, but I definitely think it would be fun for those like one-offs every once in a while. You play in between stuff or when you need a break from a main session.
I think it's a good palate cleanser if you want something easy. Like the reason why I'm doing such a long campaign with my friends is because I have one of my players who I'm just constantly trying to like find a system they really love because they played D&D 5e and that was their sticking point of like, I don't like role-playing games. This isn't for me. but this is the first role-playing game. And I've had him try, like Cyberpunk and, Death in Space and several other systems. And this is the first one. Not only did he want to like play it again, but he looked forward. He asked me, he's like, when are we going to play this again? It's the only role-playing game he wants to actively play. So,
That's
that's a great compliment to the system,
Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
and we just did a system, or like we just did a game 2 days ago, where it was just like me and him going to a traveling like antique like vendors market along the riverbank. And it was like an hour long, and he hates math, he hates doing modifiers, hates doing all this. So it's just like anyone who is thinking about playing Riverbank, if you have someone that wants just a casual experience, doesn't want to like go through the combat or math, I think this is like a really good system to kind of explore every now and then. But I'm really glad that
definitely.
everyone had a good time. But yeah, so Christian, whenever you're ready, I think we can kind of end the.
Well then, wasn't that fun? Sorry I had to miss out on that session. Be sure to come back next session as we jump right back into Fabula Ultima. Thanks for joining us, and be sure to come back again soon.